Namaste to one and all. Welcome back to another session of Science at Your Tips. Today here in this session we'll continue the lesson Light. In that the topic ray diagrams. After completing spherical mirrors, you got an idea what are these spherical mirrors and what are the different terms we use and what are the instructions or rules and regulations we'll follow to draw the ray diagrams. Once again we'll just revise the rules, three rules which are very much essential to draw the ray diagrams. The first one, when the incident ray is parallel to principal axis, a reflected ray will go through the focus in the case of concave mirror and it seems to go through the focus in the case of convex mirrors. Second rule, if the incident ray is going through the focus, reflected ray will come parallel to the principal axis in the case of concave mirror, and in the case of convex mirror, if the incident ray seems like going through the focus, the reflected ray will come back by making parallel to the principal axis. The third rule, if the incident ray is going through the center of curvature, reflected ray will superimpose the incident ray, means it also comes back through the center of curvature. So let us see these ray diagrams to understand the image formation, nature of image, size of image and the place of the image. So all those we'll see. First of all, we'll go for the concave mirror followed by the convex mirror. Now we are placing the object in 6 different positions from the mirror and we'll observe where the image is formed. Means we are going to draw the ray diagrams. So first of all, we are going to take the object at infinity and we'll observe where the image is formed. Then after that, followed by the object beyond center of curvature. After that, at center of curvature. Then followed by between center of curvature and focal point. After that, at focal point, then between focal point and pole. In these 6 different positions, we'll place our object and we'll try to find out what is the nature of the image. So first one, the object is taken at infinity. Whenever the object is at infinity, all the incident rays will become parallel to the principal axis. So many number of parallel rays we can draw. Instead of drawing many of them at 7th class level, it will be little bit confusing. So let us take only two rays, two incident rays. We are going to draw one above the principal axis and the other one below the principal axis. Then you know already that from our rules, the first rule, when the incident ray is parallel to principal axis, the reflected ray will go through the focus. So the same thing is happening here. Both these reflected rays are going to meet at focus. So the object, whenever it is taken at infinity, we are going to get the image at focal point. Image will be at focal point. So the place of the image formed here in this case is at focal point. And the size, if you see, what is the size? Yes, it is highly diminished, or we can say point sized. And the image is formed by actual intersection. Actual intersection means we are going to say this image is nothing but real image. Real image is formed. And inverted image. Actually, we are unable to see whether it is erect or inverted, but better to write inverted. If you are able to see the erect image, we'll write that as erect. So real and inverted image, it's highly diminished, point sized image and it is formed at focal point. Coming to the second one. Now the object is taken beyond center of curvature. When you are taking the object beyond the center of curvature, we will draw two incident rays. One ray parallel to the principal axis and the other one going through the center of curvature. One is parallel to the principal axis and the other one going through the center of curvature. So from our first rule, when the incident ray is parallel to principal axis, reflected ray will go through the focal point. Reflected ray will go through the focal point. Then The reflected ray formed by the incident ray which is going through the focal point, going through the center of curvature, will again come back. It will superimpose that incident ray. So that is why the incident ray also is coming back in the same manner, that is through the center of curvature. Now both these reflected rays are going to meet at one particular point, that is nothing but this point A dash. So from A dash to B dash we'll draw one line, one arrow mark showing the position of the image. So here in this case, if you observe, the image is formed by actual intersection. So it is a real image. And here the image and object, if you compare, image is not the same manner. It is not in the same manner like object. It is inverted. Inverted image we got. Then where we are getting the image, it is formed between focal point and center of curvature, between F and C. Then after that, what is the size of the image? Compared with the object, it seems like small. So we can say it is diminished. Okay. Then going to the next one, here we have taken the object at C, at center of curvature. So when we are taking the object at center of curvature, then what we'll do, we'll draw two incident rays, one ray parallel to the principal axis, the other one going through the focal point. One ray parallel to the principal axis and the other one going through the focal point. Then again, you remember the two rules, first and second rules. When the incident ray is parallel to principal axis, the reflected ray should go through the focal point. When the incident ray is going through the focal point, reflected ray should come back parallel to the principal axis. So these two rays are going to meet at this point A dash, at this point A dash. So that is why from A dash to B, we are going to draw one arrow mark which is showing the image formation. So image is formed here by actual intersection. So that is why we can say this image is a real image, and you can see that it is not in the same manner like object. It is inverted. Inverted image we got, and where we are getting the image? We got the image at center of curvature. Then what is the size of the image? We'll get it as same size. Same sized image we will get. Same as a object. So when the object is taken at center of curvature, we will get real and inverted image at center of curvature, and the size of the image is same as the object. Okay. Then coming to the fourth one, here we are taking the object between focal point and center of curvature. Between focal point and center of curvature. Here what we have to do, we are going to draw two rays here. One is parallel to the principal axis and the other one we are making it to go through the center of curvature. Okay. Whenever we are drawing the incident ray parallel to the principal axis, we know that it should go through the focal point. And the other one, we are assuming that it is going through the center of curvature. What we'll do here means we'll draw one line along the center of curvature. So you know already that reflected ray also should superimpose this incident ray. This also should go through the focal point. Now these two rays in the sense, the reflected ray which is formed by the first one and the reflected ray formed by the second one. Both of them are going to meet at this point. So from here onwards, we will draw one line onto the principal axis. So as this image is formed by real intersection, actual intersection, that is why the image formed here is a real image, and we are getting an inverted image. Then we are getting the image beyond the center of curvature. Beyond center of curvature. See, from first diagram onwards, if you observe, slowly we are bringing the object towards the mirror and image will go away from the mirror. That point you can observe here, from infinity, beyond C, at C, between F and C. When we are taking the object, slowly we are bringing the object towards the mirror and image is going to go, it will go away from the mirror. So here we got the image beyond center of curvature, and if you observe the size, we are getting the magnified size, or it is enlarged size we got for the image. Okay, then we'll see the next diagram. Now we have taken the object at focal point. When the object is taken at focal point, what we'll do here also, we'll draw two rays, we'll draw two incident rays. One is parallel to the principal axis and the other one is going through the center of curvature. In the same manner as the before one, here also we are going to get the two reflected rays, but these are not going to meet at any point. Means they are parallel to each other, but we'll assume that they will meet at infinity. So what we'll do here, assuming that they meet at infinity, we'll consider that real image is formed, and anyway it is below the principal axis, no? Means below the principal axis. Before also we got below the principal axis, means inverted image we got. Then at infinity we are getting, as I said, we are assuming that both these parallel rays will meet at infinity. Then highly magnified image we will get, because we are assuming that it will meet at infinity. It is not nearer to the mirror. So that is why we can say it is a highly magnified image we are going to get. In the next one, we take the object between F and P, between focal point and pole. Then here what we'll do, here at AB, every time AB is considered as the object. So from AB what we'll do here also, we'll draw two incident rays. One is parallel to principal axis, the other one is going through the center of curvature. So when you are drawing like that, what happens? These two reflected rays, whatever are formed, these are not going to meet at any point. Even they are not parallel also, as the before diagram. So what we will do, as they are diverging from each other, they are going away from each other. What we'll do here, we are going to draw the dotted line. Dotted line we'll draw here by extending these two reflected rays backwards. Backwards we will extend them with the help of the dotted lines. So wherever these dotted lines are meeting, from that point on to the principal axis, we'll draw one arrow mark showing that image formation. So we can say that the image is formed by apparent intersection, not actual intersection. Apparent intersection is there. So because of that, we can say that the image formation is nothing but virtual image, and it is erect image. Up to now we were getting inverted everywhere, but here we will get erect image, and it is formed behind the mirror, not at C, not at F, not between F and C, not like that, like before diagrams. We are getting behind the mirror. Then what is the size of that? If you compare with the object, it is magnified. Enlarged image we are getting behind the mirror, which is a virtual image. So when the object is taken between focal point and pole, the image will be virtual, erect, behind the mirror and magnified. Okay. Now let us see on the whole how we are getting the ray diagrams, how the object is taken and how the image is formed. When the object is taken at infinity, the position of the image will be at focal point and the size will be highly diminished and also point sized. You can say point size. And the nature of the image, if you see, it is real and also inverted. Slowly we are bringing the object towards the mirror. Beyond C we have taken. Now this image will go away from the mirror. Between F and C it is formed, and the size slowly it will increase, diminished now. Before that highly diminished, now diminished. Now the image, anyway it is almost the same, only one case we are getting virtual and direct. In the remaining all cases real and inverted only. When the object is taken at C, the image also is formed at C only, and the size we are getting same size. Here also real and inverted. Then we are taking the object between C and F, between center of curvature and focal point. We are getting the image beyond C and the size is enlarged. If you see highly diminished, same size, enlarged. So slowly the size of the image is increasing, and distance of the image, what is happening? It is also increasing from the mirror. Object distance is decreasing from top to bottom at infinity, beyond C, at C, between C and F, at F, between P and F. Slowly it is coming towards the mirror. Image is going away from the mirror. size of the image is increasing, and everywhere real and inverted only in one case will get virtual and erect. So here also between C and F, when you are taking the object, we'll get the image real and inverted only. Then we will take the object at F, at focal point. Then the image will be formed at infinity because both the parallel rays we got. Then the size, if you see, it is highly enlarged, and here also we are getting real and inverted. Nature of the image, you remember children, everywhere we'll get real and inverted only in the case of concave mirror, except one case, that is between P and F. When you are taking the object, then we'll get the real and, this is virtual and erect image instead of real and inverted, and the size is enlarged, it is behind the mirror. Okay, then once we'll see what are the different uses of this concave mirror. It is used as shaving mirrors, torches, searchlights, vehicle headlights, and it is also used by the dentist to get some larger image for the patient's teeth, and also it is used for solar cookers, solar furnaces, so that we can concentrate that heat. As I said in the earlier sessions, like how to find out the focal point of the concave mirror, we are using the sunlight, and also concave mirror, we are able to burn a paper also. Okay, so to concentrate the heat here in the solar cookers, we can use this concave mirrors. Now coming to this convex mirrors. Here in the case of convex mirrors, every time we will get virtual and direct images only, and every time it is diminished. Every time it is diminished only. So once we'll see here how we are getting. At infinity, when you are taking the object, it is not that much, means how you have learnt about concave mirror, it is not that much complex. It's very easy because everywhere the image we are getting the same manner. So that is why no need to worry about the image formation and all. Everywhere will get virtual erect behind mirror only. So at infinity, when you are taking the object, what happens here? The parallel rays you are going to get, and they seem like they are going to meet at focal point. So highly diminished image will get here in the first case. Between infinity and pole, anywhere you take, we are going to get virtual and direct image, and this is behind the mirror, between, that is between the pole and focal point, somewhere we will get it, and it is also diminished. So that many ray diagrams we are not going to draw for the convex mirrors because everywhere we are getting the same thing. Then coming to the uses of convex mirrors, they are used as rear view mirror. Backside some lorry is coming, you can't see that whole lorry in your mirror. If you want to see that, again it will be a problem for you only. You want to see that whole lorry in your mirror, smaller size, you wanted to see that. So that is why what we'll do, we'll use the convex mirror, which will make that lorry image, a bus image, or some other vehicle is there, that will be made as a smaller one, and we can identify backside what is the vehicle coming. So vehicles use, they will use this as a rear view mirror to see the traffic at the rear side, back side, and used as a device to check the theft in the shops also. Nowadays we are having this CC cameras and all. So there also will be having this, so that the full shop image can be caught in that small camera, means we should have the concave mirror. So for this purpose, this concave mirrors are used. Okay, so this is about the ray diagrams of image formation in the case of concave mirror and also convex mirrors. Okay.